Right now we're at an aqueduct on our way to LA for E3.
There's no word to say how, but there's hardly any word. There's literally no word to say about this.
This is a first, and it's invite only, so this is huge that we can even go. Kind of a dream come true. I mean, I remember way back when G4 used to be a thing. They would air E3 every year, and I would just be sitting on the couch juiced, and now I get to actually be here and experience it, and it's just blowing my mind.
Yeah, it's an awesome experience here. I'd also like to thank our college track for helping us out with the money. We appreciate you guys.
Yes, thank you to all of our supporters. This would not have been possible without support through being money or helping getting us to plan this out, and all the way back to when we first started doing this last summer. Like, thank you to everyone who's helped us along the way. Truly, thank you. This is day 2.
Yeah.
Feeling good.
Excited,
Feeling really good.
Feelings, especially there's a lot of things going on at the same time. A lot of companies like showing their games, which is amazing.
We ended up in line for about an hour. We had to get a closer peek at 2K Games Battleborn.
Yeah.
And the wait was worth it. It was worth it. It was definitely worth it. Don't sleep on that game. They said it was coming next winter, and it's basically, what kind of game is it?
Mixture of all their games, put like their favorite parts put all together, like Evolve. There are other games, but I can't remember now. But I got to learn about the controls, especially, and also the weapons or tools that the characters use or whatnot, and the camera views and all that.
This has just been awesome, like truly awesome. Like, it's kind of everything I imagined and more. And it's crazy just how much stuff is going on. You literally can't do everything. There's so much stuff you cannot see everything. So you can just kind of have to pick and choose because there's just too many experiences to have.
We're in the game.
Day 2 is over, and day 3 is supposed to be even shorter, so I don't know. It felt like there's this huge build-up to getting to this point, and I'm kind of sad that it's over halfway over. But every minute of it's been amazing, so no regrets. Right now we're in the lobby for E3. You know, we're just gonna take a quick break. It's a lot of stuff, kind of overwhelming.
And it's day 3, so this is our last day of showing up and seeing what game companies are developing and what they're showing to the community everywhere.
Today we're gonna focus down on interviewing people, you know, getting to talk to some developers, seeing about what they're doing with their games, and like how they built them, just their experience in building them, and any advice they can give us as students, because you know we're working from the ground up ourselves, so anything we can get from them, like, you know, just to pick their brains for a second, it's gonna be amazing.
Like Battery Jam is like a multiplayer party brawler where you play as little robots in an arena and you set down traps to push and pull and affect other players indirectly to try and push them into lava pits.
The whole game was built from the ground up to be like really energetic, really fun. Try to get just like bright colors, a lot of things happen on screen, just get people excited, just smiling while they play. That's the goal.
I knew I wanted to do art, but I didn't want to be a freelancer, and I thought, hey, I could do art and get a yearly salary if I work in the games industry, and that was it, the end. I just didn't want to be a freelancer, basically, but I ended up really loving it, and I'm glad that I'm here.
My whole life's been based around video games. Like, we had a regular Nintendo when I was younger, and I took to it. And we had a Genesis, Super Nintendo, Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, Xbox. Like, I bought everything that came out. For me, it's just always been like my favorite thing in the world. I think it's the best form of entertainment around. I just adored it. Outside of high school, I had intended to go to school sooner, but had just kind of backed off. And I've been an illustrator my whole life, and I've always really enjoyed concept art. That's my main focus. But when I graduated, I was looking at schools. As anybody that's looked at these kind of schools knows, the bill is pretty large. Yeah. And so I chickened out for a while, basically. But I had a few life events that sort of spurred me into taking it a bit more seriously, realizing I had to get it together. And so I hopped on a plane, moved to Savannah, and hopped right in. It's panned out pretty well so far.
Yeah. I was a big fan of the Nancy Drew games. I still am. And I remember, like, when I decided, yeah, I guess I'll go work in the games industry. Well, where am I going to work at? Because I wasn't a huge fan of, like, AAA games, and, like, I never had, like, consoles really to play, and I had my PC, but it wasn't that great. And Her Interactive, they make the Nancy Drew games, and I'm like, okay, I'll go work there. And then ever since then, I've just been kind of, like, working towards that.
For me, I think it'd probably actually be Devil May Cry. There's plenty of games before that I was in love with, but I remember getting the demo for Devil May Cry with, I want to say Resident Evil 0, but one of the Resident Evil games. And just as soon as an enemy came out and I started hitting it, I was just like, oh my god, this is awesome. And I adore this so much. And then it really compounded when I bought the game finally, and Dante has this really cheesy one-liner where like the giant griffin's coming out of the sky and it's just like lightning bolts and terror and all this stuff, and he just goes like, flock off, Featherface, and it's stupid as hell, but I was just like, okay, like that's it, I'm in, like, I have to do this now, like this is ridiculous.
Been in the industry for 15 years now, and at 2K for 5. So.
How many reviews have you
Oh God, most of them. I think there's been one or two that I've missed just because the game I was working on was in a cycle that wasn't being shown at E3. But for the most part, I've been here every year for a long time. Yeah.
So how'd you get started in the game industry?
Let's see. Wanting to get out of Alabama. I grew up there, and I always loved video games, so I just wanted to get into go to a place where I could actually have an opportunity. So I moved out to California and got a job being a temp employee at LucasArts, and just kind of worked my way up from there.
What was that one game where you played it and you were like, that's it, I want to be in the game industry?
Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger was and still is my favorite game. I've probably played that game every 2 or 3 years since it came out. Like every time I find an emulator or I find a new system that it comes out on or whatever, I usually replay the whole thing. So.
What do you enjoy most working in the gaming industry, like in 2K or another?
Just I guess getting a chance to just make like really creative products. I mean, we're, you know, especially being a gamer and coming from a background where I've spent most of my life, you know, playing pretty much everything that's out there that, you know, that was good. I just always want to be a part of that, you know, that process. And, you know, 2K is one of the best places in the industry to do that because, you know, we have a pretty good track record of making really, really top quality AAA products. So getting to do that every day, that, you know, that's why I wake up. So it's good. If you love games and it's your passion, I mean, honestly, the best thing to do is try to get into, you know, find a school that has like a really good video game program, some kind of either computer science or, you know, nowadays, like when I was a kid, there was no such thing as a video game program. It was like, you know, you either went to school for computer science or you didn't really make it in. So now there's a lot of options. So just finding one of those places, you know, around the country. I think there's even a couple, you know, up in the Bay Area. So finding one of those places and just sticking with it, you know, and play as many games you can, because the more you know about the video games, the better you'll be able to talk about them. The better you'll be able to explain what you want to actually do in the industry.
Just having, like, I would say, like, if you're starting at square one and you're not sure what you want to do, have to talk to people. Like,
Yeah.
if you send emails or make phone calls, like, people are so willing to talk about it because our industry is so passionate that you'll easily find somebody that's like, yeah, here's how I did it, here's my story, you know, here's how it could work for you. I think that's probably the best way, because I wouldn't have gotten to where I am if I wasn't persistent and I was like, hey, why don't you talk to me? Hey, why do you talk to me? Hey, why do you talk to me? And I probably got rejected 100 times, but eventually all you need is that one chance where someone takes a chance on you, and then from there, just do good work. You have to be, you know, gotta be passionate and good at what you do. So
that's definitely the other thing. Is like once you get your foot in the door, I mean, just always try to work harder than everybody else. I mean, it sounds like a simple thing to say, but I mean, people in the industry really acknowledge that sort of mentality, and just having that fire and that passion, you know, that it shows. So
for me, it was about figuring out how I could use my skill set and my own personality to accomplish what I want to accomplish in the games industry.
Yeah, that's a good point, because you can, regardless of what your skill set is, there's probably a place for you.
Yeah.
And that's the cool thing, is that, you know, like he said, I'm not an artist and I'm not super creative, but I'm really good at solving problems. So figuring out, you know, falling into production, like that's what the job is. The job is solving every problem that's thrown at you, and it's like that's just what I stuck with because I was good at it.
I always say this. I'm like, I think I'm good at PR, but I don't think that I would enjoy doing PR if I had to do it for anything but video games. Like, I'm good at it because I do it for something I'm passionate about, and I don't think it goes to anything in life. If you like any job you're gonna get, you're good at it because you're passionate about it and you care.
Yeah.
And if your heart's not in it, you're not gonna get your best performance.
We're in the parking garage. It sucks, but it's time for us to go.
We had an amazing experience going to E3. Thanks to people who supported us and helped funded us as well. And thanks for watching this video. It was an awesome experience. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Thank you very much.
Where are we going now?
Back to the Bay, back home.
Bay forever.